Alright, let's talk about something mind-blowing that most people completely overlook. The fact that ants are basically the world's most underrated urban planners. I mean, think about it. While we're bragging about our skyscrapers and subways, ants have been building cities that put ours to shame. And no, I'm not exaggerating. Personally, I think we've been sleeping on these tiny architects for far too long. Here's the hook. Did you know there's an ant supercolony in Europe that stretches 6,000 kilometers along the coasts of Portugal, Spain, France, and Italy? That's like a single ant metropolis spanning the distance from New York to Los Angeles, but with billions of inhabitants working in perfect harmony. What makes this really interesting is that these aren't just random ants. They're Argentine ants, an invasive species that's basically taken over the world. But here's the twist. In their invaded territories, they've formed supercolonies where neighboring nests cooperate instead of fighting. It's like if all the cities in the US suddenly decided to merge into one giant, peaceful nation. From my perspective, this raises a deeper question. Are ants better at globalization than we are? Now, let's zoom in on their cities. Leafcutter ants in Central and South America build underground networks that rival human infrastructure. We're talking brood chambers, fungus gardens, storage silos, and even waste management systems, all in a space the size of a tennis court. What many people don't realize is that these colonies can house up to 6 million ants. Imagine pouring plaster into their tunnels and uncovering structures the size of camper vans. It's like discovering a hidden alien city right under our feet. One thing that immediately stands out is how efficient these systems are. Ants don't have architects or engineers, yet they've mastered ventilation, food storage, and even zoning. If you take a step back and think about it, their cities are more sustainable than most of ours. They recycle waste, grow their own food, and maintain a perfectly balanced ecosystem. In my opinion, we could learn a thing or two from them about urban planning. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. These ant supercolonies are essentially immortal. As long as the queen is alive, the colony keeps growing. And because Argentine ants in these supercolonies recognize each other as family, they've eliminated conflict. What this really suggests is that cooperation, not competition, might be the key to long-term survival. It's a stark contrast to human societies, where we're constantly fighting over resources and borders. A detail I find fascinating is how these ants communicate. They don't have language as we know it, yet they coordinate millions of individuals through pheromones and touch. It's like they've hacked the system of communication itself. Personally, I think this challenges our assumption that complexity requires consciousness. Ants prove you don't need a brain to build a civilization. So, what's the bigger takeaway here? Ants remind us that scale doesn't always equal sophistication. Their cities are vast, but they are also incredibly efficient, sustainable, and cooperative. If we could emulate even a fraction of their organization, imagine how much better our own cities could be. Here's my closing thought. Next time you see an ant hill, don't just brush it off. You're looking at a tiny piece of a global empire, one that's been thriving for millions of years. Makes you wonder, are we the ones who have something to learn from them? Let me know what you think in the comments. Are ants the ultimate city planners, or is there something we're missing? Let's keep the conversation going.